Wow, another month, and I feel like another Star Wars project. Am I right? Seriously though, is it just me, or have I been flooded with Star Wars content lately? Love it or hate it, I'll leave that up to you, but there's no denying it's been juicy. Now, fingers crossed this one doesn't get the axe before it has the time to shine. But I hope Skeleton Crew hits the mark. I know we've been waiting for a show to reach the levels of Andor. Hopefully, Skeleton Crew is that. Hey guys, it's AK, and welcome back to the Popcorn Perspective, your one stop shop for all things films and TV shows from the galaxy far, far away to the popcorn bucket on your lap. Let's unpack what happened on the Skeleton Crew. The first two episodes dropped a few days ago, and let's see so far if it's working or if it's failing. Is it enticing us? Is it interested? Is it bad? Is it worth to watch? All right. So, fair warning. This is going to be a full episode full of spoilers for all the movies, potentially all the shows leading up into the Skeleton Crew, and obviously the first two episodes within the show. So if you're not caught up yet, maybe go ahead and hit that pause button, catch us and catch up, unpause once you're ready. Trust me, this show seems like it's worth it. Alrighty then. Well, let's dive in, right? Right off the bat, the Skeleton Crew kicks off in such Star Wars fashion. I mean, you have an opening tag, explaining the where this story takes place. It takes place a few years after the Return of the Jedi, so Episode 6. The Empire is gone. The New Republic is trying, failing to keep everything together. Obviously, they are strong far and wide amongst the galaxy. And bam, that's where the show opens up. An incredible homage to A New Hope. We are aboard a New Republic cruiser. And they're ambushed by some kind of pirate boarding party. And it was a cool scene to see how the pirates managed to take control of the ship. They managed to break into the ship. It was kind of cool to see. You know from like the old pirate movies, you have the ships lined up, and then they have the planks go across. And this one, you have like a mechanical plank, and they hide inside it. It's like a tunnel system. Badass and cool. I love it. And I love how the pirates has kind of replaced the feel of the Empire back in A New Hope. The Empire boards the the Rebels cruiser, the Republic cruiser. In this case, it's the pirates doing the same thing, and it was very replicated of how A New Hope has. You have all the New Republic standing there with the guns, hiding behind containers, and getting ready for the inevitable attack. And you have such a pretty cool fight scene happens where we get introduced to the pirate crew that we most likely will be following here and there throughout the season. Are they going to be the antagonist? Or are they going to be the protagonist? Or are they going to be just a great character that kind of moves the plot along? We don't know just yet. But the scene grabbed my attention immediately. So funnily enough, they're on there to steal and raid and take all the gold the ship has. And they only find one measly Republic credit, to the irritation of the pirates. And they do what pirates do best. They mutiny and they attack the captain. And that's kind of like where this prologue ends. It grabbed my attention immediately, like I said. Going in, I had no idea what the show's about. I avoided all the trailers. I might have seen a teaser or two here and there, just like on Disney Plus or something, without really paying attention. So I was heading into the show pretty blind. I was under the assumption it was going to be a kids show, based on the Goonies or Stranger Things type style. It definitely is, but I was kind of shocked. You starting off with a pirate attack, complete with mutiny and a brutal killing, was such a bold choice. Definitely elevated this from just going to be a kids fun cheesy show to a show with legs. And when I say legs, I mean like it's a show that's not just one genre. It's going to continue growing into multiple different genres, different ideas. Going to keep going out of the show. It's not going to just be a standard kids drama. I like you, you like me. We go on an adventure, we fall in love, and everything's all happy dappy, and we end up walking out with nothing happening to us. I don't think this show is going to go that route. Based on just the pirates brutally murdering a full capacity ship with no remorse, and then attacking their captain within a span of 3 minutes, just shows this show is willing to take risk, and I like that. Here I was thinking we are going to get a low-key, kid-friendly Star Wars adventure. But right off the gate, it hit us with a high stakes, intense action, and that's what I love about Star Wars. Is they can do whatever they want because the universe is so large, and there's so much story to tell. And the aliens, holy crap, perfect. One thing Disney Star Wars has missed the mark on of recent is a lack of diverse, interesting, cool new alien species. Hell, I don't mind you taking species from like the past and bringing them back into the fold. What you have here, I mean, we have like this cool werewolf-looking creature, which we've seen, I think, in Empire Strikes Back. Similar-looking creature, maybe in New Hope. I can't now remember when, but his name is Brutus, and we actually get a character for him. We also get like a Hondo Onaka wannabe. Great, I love Hondo Onaka. I love his species from the Clone Wars and Rebels series. It's cool to see other characters. I'm not sure if he's a potential character we've seen in the Clone Wars series with Hondo Naka. Maybe he was one of Hondo's old crewmates. We don't have a name for him yet, but I love it. It feels like old school Star Wars. It adds this layer of like gritty, realistic charm that Disney desperately needed to replicate, and they desperately need to do more often. Each alien pirate had a distinctive, cool characteristic. It's something you expect from a galaxy full of diverse and cool creatures, and I'm glad we're getting it here. Like honestly, like I said, I'm just gushing over the opening 5 minutes. It set the bar high. It was fresh, intense, and filled to the brim with the Star Wars charm that I grew to love. I cannot wait to see how it unfolds and how the rest of the show unpacks. But if that opening scene was to say anything, we're in for a great journey. Now, instead of walking you through exactly the entire story beat by beat, I more or less just want to focus on what I liked about the show, what has me excited, nervous, and where I'm generally intrigued on. So let's start off with our protagonist, Rim.
You should not have come here. My guts!
Unfortunately, I do believe he might be the weakest part of the show. Acting wise, Mr. Ravi, he's doing an absolute great job. He's killing it, no question. But the character, who is Rim? He's a young, idealistic daydreamer living on the planet at Aton. Sounds promising, reminds you similar to like young Luke or young Annie. But there's the thing, he's just not interesting of a character. Something about him is just not clicking. He's more of an aggravation to me so far. And let's be hard honest, when your main protagonist is hard to root for, it creates a disconnect. That said, it seems like I'm not the only one who shares in this opinion. The core group of kids that he gets stuck with seems to all share the same experience. So I'm hoping this is allowing Rim to potentially grow into a more badass character, kind of like on the rims of like an Ashoka or like a Omega from the Bad Batch. I'm hoping that's how to go. Starting off, not the biggest fan of him, but his friend Neil, for example, he is the total opposite of Rim. He's adorable, he's humble, he's badass, and he's a blue elephant-like creature. Great, new characters, new species. I love it.
Studying all the time. I don't know. Aren't we always studying all the time? Are you gonna fail? Because I could fail too. At least we'd still be in the same class together. You know, I'm not gonna fail.
Um, and he seems like he doesn't want the adventure. He just wants to live a normal life. He wants to go to school. Wants to avoid the chaos of the outside world. Wants to focus on what Atten has to offer. Go to school, take the test, go get a career, and all of that fun meandering Earth bullshit that we go through every day. Meandering. And then there's the other two friends, Fern and KB, two close friends, just like the boys. And they meet them along the way throughout episode 1. So who is Fern? Very much like Rim, she's headstrong. But that's the only similarities. Here's the difference. Fern is a natural leader. She's logical, she's thoughtful, she isn't impulsive, and she plans and approaches situations with such a level head, basically everything that Rim is not. And KB, on the other hand, she seems more reserved. Sorry, reserved. She seems more like a shy technician or like a engineer kid. with some serious badass skills.
It's no good, Fern. This one's all corroded. Fern? Gotta get a new power converter. Scrapyard's picked over.
Like there was a scene where the droid was explaining to them how to fly a ship, and obviously flying a plane in general is hard. Imagine flying a freaking spaceship in space, especially in Star Wars worlds, in the world of Star Wars. He was pointing all these triggers, all these buttons, this, that does this. And she's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Love that. She's smart. She knows she's capable. So KB and Fern are great characters so far. We don't know much about KB. Fern, we know, is supposed to be the head of her class, and her mom has some kind of high political role within Athens government. Um, but now here is where things get messy and why Rim so far is a character that I just don't like. So while Rim and Fern are both headstrong characters, Fern makes it work while Rim doesn't because, like I said, Fern is practical. She wants to explore this mystery artifact, this hole in the ground that they find buried deep into the forest of the planet, but she knows better to do just go poking around stuff aimlessly. Rim, he's the exact opposite. Touching everything he sees, poking a button, touching the captain's clothes in the ship, and unfortunately starting the ship that sends them into space and sends them into hyperspace. And like I said, surprise, 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 it's entirely his fault. He's the reason why his friend Neil was along this adventure. He's the reason why Fern and KB are now stranded from home in the middle of space, alongside with his friend. Because he doesn't know when to stop touching. He thinks he knows more than he really does, and unfortunately, I just don't like that in a character. A character who's over the top or over egotistic or overly prideful enough to show their worth, but only failing along the way is not a good character, in my opinion. I want a character who learns from his mistakes, and I would expect after the stuff that happened in episode one that he would at least apologize or at least start learning from his mistakes. No. Even after stranding all of his friends in space, he keeps making these reckless and harsh decisions that keeps putting them in danger. They meet a droid, SM33, Smee, if you are a Peter Pan fan. I love it. That's me. But um, Smee basically tells him like, "Hey, I know a pirate bay, a shipping bay that we can go to and trade, and that way we can get some information on how to get back to your home planet." Fair enough, cool. But what does he do? He goes there, flaunts his gold, his old Republic gold. So keep a tag on that. He is old Republic gold. That's going to come into later. And kind of just causing more chaos by just talking too much and not thinking before he speaks. Something that it seems like Fern has already realized. Like we can't trust these guys. These guys are pirates. We're in their pirate bay. We really can't trust these guys. So let's play this smart. No, no, no. First off, William travels on. He walks away on his own. Gets separated from the group. His friend, luckily, he has a good friend with William has a good friend with Neil and kind of piggybacked with them. But it's just like, come on, William. You're continuing to be the bane of everyone's existence. At this point, even his best friend Neil seems kind of tired of his shit. And like I said, thank goodness for SM33's me, the absolute MVP of the show so far. Without them, this group would have been dead by now. And the way Rim completely drags the group down, it makes it hard to stay invested in this character. But like I said, because he's being saved by characters like a robotic character by Smee, or he's potentially getting into his place by a character like Fern, who's a better leader and a better everything all around than what he is, I'm hoping it pushes him for some growth. I'm holding out hope. We'll see where this goes. He, in my opinion, is the weakest part of the group. Let me know down below. Are you vibing with the Rim's character? Are you getting as frustrated as I am? Because while the dynamics between the kids are great, the acting is great, and they have such great chemistry, all four of them, I feel like our main protagonist just has a lot of catching up to do. Like, look at the original trilogy, for instance. Like, we have a hotshot pilot gunner. and his gunner, Chewbacca. We have a smart, charismatic politician and a freedom fighter with Leia. The hotshot pilot being um, Han. And then we have the idealistic dreamer boy who learns to lead his team to success. And obviously, we have the obligatory Star Wars droids. Luke and Wim are nearly the same character and idea, but how they act to their friends and peers, Luke is willing to learn and put aside his pride, and he's willing to die for his friends. Wim does that we know within an hour 20 minutes of screen time so far within the two episodes. We don't see him ever wanting to put himself in front of his friends. He's willing to just fuck around, whether it be to the to his father's disgrin or to his friend's irritation. Luke is able to put aside his ego within maybe around 10 to 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes of screen time within A New Hope. It's just, I know it's a TV show, so they can stretch things out and they can make things more realistic, but allowing him to grow within his crew. I mean, sure, the age definitely has an impact, but I'm hoping, and obviously the impact of where they lived, where society is far more evolved in Tatooine. That's why I expected him to be a little more mature. His society seems far more advanced. Suburban, jobs, college, career, something that doesn't seem like Tatooine really has much of. I mean, I know I'm just ragging on what I didn't like about the character. Nothing against Mr. Ravi, the actor. He seems like a perfectly capable actor, and he's still young, so he can definitely find his groove. I just think the writing of the character is kind of poor right now. But let's talk about what I loved about the show. The world building, the costume, and the overall look. Fantastic. Truly top notch. Like, let's talk about the world building because, wow, this is something special. I mean, we know Star Wars world building. We know, the planets, Tatooine, Coruscant. We know the characters, the creatures. We know about the clones now. We know about the Jedi's and the Sith relationship. We know who the Empire really is. We know what the Grand Republic, the Old Republic looked like. We know what the New Republic looks like. We know about Luke's demise and the sequels. So we have a lot of world building already done. But this does something different. I mean, so let me break it down slightly here. The kids salvage a damaged droid named SM-33 who drops a bombshell. While he's trying to get them back to their home planet after they hyper jump into a god knows where galaxy, not galaxy, but like area, and trying to get back to their home planet. They mention at Aten. That's where they live. It is not in his records, and he tries searching through his brain, and he is not able to identify where at Aten is. I mean, this alone will raise some eyebrows to the viewers. I mean, how does a droid who was buried in a ship that was buried in the planet called At not know about this planet and where he last was at? It's great foreshadowing to what happens later in the episode, in episode 2. I mean, so they travel to a pirate bay, like I said earlier, to try finding the location to their home. Such a cool concept, by the way. It's a beautiful, gritty, bustling hub where pirates come to trade, relax, and unwind after hard days of, well, pirating. And the aesthetics here is so Star Wars. I mean, we get like a bunch of familiar characters and new characters, like creatures. But playing on the idea of where Aten is, I mean, the mystery deepens. When the pirates hear about these kids in Aten, they don't shrug it off or give directions, but they hunt these kids. They believe Aten is a legend, some kind of pirate legend, a mythical place to hold some kind of unimaginable wealth. And naturally, the pirates don't believe the kid's story about them being from there, so that's where things take a dark turn. They imprison the group. In the biggest twist, why do I love this twist so much? I mean, this is such a big twist. It's something that is unique, compelling, and new for Star Wars. I mean, sure, we had, in episode 2 Clone Wars, we had the planet where the clones were being built, Camino hidden or taken off the maps. So something similar to that, but this kind of adds to the layer of a ship, a planet that is off the records, nobody knows about, and it looks like it's like a long term legend, a long legend, stranding from history, because every time we gone to the planet, uh, they mention there's a barrier that protects them from the outside world. Talks to them how it's forbidden to fly out. This is Star Wars. No planet has been forbidden to fly between planets. And then the credits they use, while they handed the credit out to the barkeep for food, he examines it and says, "These are old Republic credits. Where did you get these?" And they're all shiny, pristine, beautifully like gold. They're not rusted. They're not old. They're not dirty. So they're brand new old Republic credits. They don't specify. He said these are old Republic credits, but he doesn't specify like are they High Republic credits? Are they like pre-Cold War Republics? Are they the New Republics? But it looks old. We don't know why he said the word Old Republic, and it makes you wonder how long has the planet at Aten been hidden? It's not like Camino, where it's probably been hidden for about 10 years from like Phantom Menace when they started building the clones to attack the clones when when everything happened. Must have been longer because it seems like the world of Aten has been untouched by the Clone Wars, untouched by the Empire's overtaking the universe, the galaxy, and then untouched by everything that happened in the prequel trilogies and the original trilogies. And that I mean, we've had so many familiar troops in Star Wars before, like countless of repeating storylines. Like we had countless episodes of the Seven Samurais on witches. Like all throughout Clone Wars, multiple times they go to a planet, the planet doesn't want to fight, so they had to teach the citizens of the planet how to fight back against the Empire. Um, or we have like a zombie arc. Like we had multiple different zombie arcs. Like we had that in Ashoka with with the undead clones coming back to life. We had that in Clone Wars with the Genosans worm taking control of the clones. So we had a lot of like repeating arcs with a little bit a change in it. And don't get me wrong, those are great. But this, it feels new. It feels fresh. It has a sense of mystery that still fits seamlessly within the great galaxy far, far away. It's unique, it's intriguing, and it got me hooked. Um, and this is the kind of storytelling the Star Wars that keeps it exciting. I mean, look at Andor. All that was new, unique, interesting storylines. This unique, new ideas. It's familiar yet innovative, grounded in the galaxy we know, but surprises us with a new twist that we haven't seen within this galaxy. We've never really seen a big pirate community. We've had it hinted at. We've seen a little bit of Pike Syndicate. We've seen obviously the Crimson Dawn, um, but we really haven't seen a pirate planet, and it was cool to see that. And we also have to talk about the costume. Every pirate, every crew member, and the planet, and the prologues battle, all feel so distinct. All are full of personality, and they feel different to each other. I mentioned earlier, like with the werewolf-looking pirate Brutus, or that one that gives me serious Hunter Onaka vibes. But it's just scratches the surface. I mean, we have like a rat-looking creature that kind of like hustles them for money. Um, we do have a rat who lives inside the eye of SM-33, which is just cool. And there's so many unique characters and creatures to meet. It's impossible to just watch the show and not just be awestruck. Even outside the pirate crew, the attention to detail is incredible. From the kids at Rim schools to the bustling pirate bay itself, as I mentioned prior to, even the space brothel. Apparently, yeah, you heard that right. In this kids show called Skeleton Crew, casually in the pirate bay, we have a space brothel. I mean, it looks like it belongs within the world, and that's what I love. Everything seems to have been in there for a reason. It seems to be a world full of people going about their merry days. Whether they're getting a tattoo, drinking at the bar, going to the words of brothel, everybody in the pirate area seem to be living the life. And then you look at the inside at Aten, the world at Aten. Same thing. Everybody seems to be living their life. I mean, we have Neems and his siblings, and his family. We have our main character and his dad. We have I mentioned earlier Fern and her mom. We don't know much about KB just yet, but they looks like to be like maybe junior high 10, 11-year-old kids, and they have their own kid issues. They have the daydream. They're struggling in school. Neem is in love with this girl that he's too afraid to talk to. Everything here is so realistic and so cool. For like it feels like I said, Stranger Things. It feels like a grounded kid series that they're just going through their kid emotions, well, in an adventure, and I love it. And it's a detail that makes this like what it is. It makes it feel alive. Every character in every corner of this world has a story to tell, and that's what makes this show stand out so much. And does a good job. And we're only 2 episodes in, and the four kids already found themselves in a pirate jail, which feels very reminiscent of Pirates of the Caribbean, when the pirates crew were being stuck in jail and trying to get the dog to grab the keys and bring the key back to them. It was a fun callback to another Disney classic. And while the kids were trying to break out, a mysterious guy trapped in jail with them reveals himself, and that's the final shot of the episode too. Jude Law makes an amazing entrance where he mentions about how the key and where they're at, it's really just a perception, and he uses the force to grab the key. And, you know, our idealistically annoying character. Hey, I'm sorry, I'll stop hating on the main guy. But he kind of blurts out, "Are you a Jedi?" Where we have Jude Law saying, "Shh, let's keep it a secret" type thing, and it kind of just ends there. Brilliant. It leaves you with so much questions and leaves you intrigued to see what happens next. So, like, what questions I hope the show ponders and answers, like, why is it illegal to leave the home planet at Aten? At Aten seems to be within the Republic. Is this the old Republic, High Republic, the pre-Clone War Republic, the pre-Empire Republic? Where do these people stand in the governmental system? Because they're very unique. Why are they able to travel in space? Why is there so many uh, off quartered zones in the planet? Like, you cannot go to this area. It's not allowed. Why is there so much, I guess, red tape in this planet? Why do the pirates believe Aten is a planet of jewels, kind of like Atlantis? Um, and why was there a fully functional ship buried in their planet first? That was considered out of bounds for the citizens venture to. Did the government know about the ship? Was the ship here for a reason? Another question is Jude Law a Jedi? Or something more sinister? We do know he's a Force wielder, and the kids immediately assume that he's a Jedi, but is he? And who is Undersecretary Farah? As I said, she's a mama fern. She's in some kind of governmental position, but she seems kind of fishy, in my personal opinion. And is Jude Law the mysterious helmeted character we saw in the opening? You know, Star Wars loves their helmeted characters. And us fans, we love to try guessing who that character is. Is it going to be like a Merrick from Ashoka and just ends up being just a throwaway character? We know he was the leader of the pirate group that was mutinied against. Is that Jude Law? Because now we see Jude Law in the prison. And does the New Republic know about at end, whatever it's called? I'm excited to learn more about this story and this world of Star Wars, and it made me ponder these questions and made me wonder. And I hope we get answers. And if not, we get answers. I hope we get more clues that allows us audience to piece things together. I don't mind them not telling us everything. I mind them to leave things, up for us to think of or piece together. But I'm intrigued, and I hope the story continues this fast, fun paced nature. Overall, 2 episodes through, I enjoyed the show, but I do believe this might be one of the most unique Star Wars projects we've had since Andor, and I'm excited. Now, hopefully, this continues hitting the mark. We shall see. What did you guys think below about episode 1 and 2 of Skeleton Crew? Let me know down below. Did it fall flat? Did you enjoy it? Let me know down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, this my name is AK, and this is the Popcorn Perspective. Peace.